This is code.org, and this is my fancy app lab project. Well, at least I think it's fancy. It is Hangman, obviously, the spelling game. Let me just show you. Run, and here's my fancy starting screen. Everything's fancy. Start, and a little bit of a keyboard here. I'm just going to start going. Wow, I'm not doing good. And notice that it pops up with the letters. I have no idea. This is not going well for us. And I lost that one. Now, when I hit play again, it all resets and I have a new word. You can tell by the length alone. Maybe it's a bit easier for me. Oh, I think I know it. So let me hit this one and hopefully, ta-da! And if I hit play again, it all clears out once again. So things I really like about this, it demonstrates a lot of the concepts needed for an AP performance task, right? And it was fun to do. Let me just walk you through the code, and then I will also post my game and the code in the description of this video. So where are the words being generated? You can see those right there. We'll hit that in a minute. But so right off the bat, how it gets started was, well, the player clicking on the start button. When you click on the start button, I put all the events way down here. Yes, there is a non-event for each letter. That actually wasn't too bad to make because all I did was I clicked show text. I copied and pasted and then just went down and filled in B, 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 C, 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 so on and so forth. And so this button is named, let me reset it. That button is named A, right? The ID for this button is A, the ID for this button is R, so on and so forth. So those were the listeners for that. And then I have a listener on the play again button, which pops up on the win-lose screen, and a listener on the start screen, which is start. And those just enable us to clear out the game and start the game. Notice they run start game. This runs the reset one. Reset, which we'll get to, clears out the, well, here. So reset's right here. But actually, I'm going to go through the functions in order real quick, just to give you an idea of what's going on. So the reason these variables are at the top, these are global variables. They are accessible to every function. So when a function changes these, like word, if a function changes word to orange, every function would now see word as orange, right? So it can edit these. These are global variables. They can be changed by any function. So this is the word that's going to be put up at the top that I am trying to guess. And this guessed is what I have guessed so far that is correct. So if the word is fun and I've only gotten an in, the guessed would be equal to hyphen hyphen in. And then if I get the letter F, guessed would be equal to F hyphen in, where word would be equal to fun. That makes sense. And then for however many wrong guesses, that's just a count of the wrong guesses. And that's how we make the body pop up. When I click start game, what's going to occur is using the random number generator, I generate a number from 0 to 1 less than the word's length. This is words. This is my array of words. And so it's 1 less than that because you don't want to go all the way to the length because the index is 1 less than the length, right? So our index starts at 0. But if I have 30 things in a list, my length of my list is 30, but the last thing index is 29 because it starts at 0. So anyways, you want to do 1 minus. Now, I then, once I grab this random number, I then use this random number, words random number. So maybe first time it's a 7, next time it's a 1, and that's how I assign the word each time you hit start. So the word they are trying to guess, the word I was trying to guess, is randomly picked from this list. Once it is randomly picked, I grab my guessed word, it's set to empty, and then I use this for loop, I0, I is less than the length of word. Oh, not of this is words. Then the length of this word, I++. And so what this is doing is guessed is equal to guessed. So right now it would be equal to nothing plus a hyphen. So now it's just equal to 1 hyphen or a minus sign. Hits the bottom, adds 1 to I. If there's still letters left, oh yeah, the word length is actually 4. So we need another hyphen, hits the bottom, adds 1 to I's at 2 or 3, oh, word length's 4, and it would keep going, and we can fill this with hyphens. And the reason we want guests filled with hyphens is we're going to slowly replace those hyphens as they get a correct letter. Then update word is what is going to be run. That changes this on the screen to be the correct size and amount of blanks. All right, now let's get to check word. When I pick a letter, check word is what all of these letters are going to ask to be run. Check word, and then they have this parameter A, B, C. The parameter is the letter that they are. And that's super handy for a couple reasons. So check word, letter, remember that's just the letter that they are, so depending on the button I hit. So when I hit a button, this function is executed. We create this variable found letter equals false. So right now I'm saying found letter false. Word equals word dot uppercase. Oh, that's to make sure I didn't forget to use uppercase because I was going to for all of the comparisons. Now, set property letter, especially because my whole keyboard here is uppercase and all of the parameters are uppercase. Set property, yeah, okay. Set property letter, background color red. Now what that is doing, it's grabbing the letter. So say I clicked on A, and once I click on A, it should turn red. So I know the characters or the letters that I've been clicking on or have already clicked on. And that way the player knows what they've clicked on too. We will have to reset that at the end when they hit reset or when they're done with the game. So this for loop for I equals 0, I is less than word dot length, so we're looping again through the word. Not words, not the array of words, just the word, that single word that we picked. And what we're doing is we're looking at every letter. So this is the index point, so I 0. So word 0, let's pretend my word is farm, right? Or duck, whatever. Well, let's pretend my word is farm. So I word at 0, right? When we start this loop, I is 0. Word at 0 would be F because farm starts with F. Now, once I hit the bottom of this loop and it goes back to the top, I would then be 1. I at 1 or word at 1 is A because farm's second letter is an A. Remember, in coding, counting usually starts at 0. So again, 0 would have been F for the word farm, 1 would be A. Then when I hit the bottom of the loop again, 2 would be R for farm, and 3 would be M for farm. And then it would be done because the word is only 4 long, and so I would hit the bottom at 3, I would now be 4, 4 is not less than 4, and it would be done. But that'd be fine because we start at 0, 1, 2, 3. We go through the whole word, we're going through each letter. Now what are we doing with each letter? Well, I'm looking at the first letter, word I, right? So the first index of word I, which would be F if it was farm, and I'm comparing it to the letter that the person just clicked. So I would have just clicked on an A, and it says, okay, A, word, oh, droop, oh yeah, at index 1, these are equal. So if they're equal, start, and it will only do this part if they are equal, if the letter's equal. It's going to create this variable start, and start's going to be equal to what we call a substring. So I'm just chopping up words is what's happening there. What word am I chopping up? That guessed word. And guessed was the word that I just filled with hyphens, right? It's just a bunch of hyphens right now. And why am I doing that? Well, I'm chopping it up from the start to my index. So if it was the A in farm, this point would be from 0 to 1, because I would just want the letter F. I don't know where the index is. I'm just telling the computer, wherever you found that letter, chop off everything in front of it and store it here in start. And then end, chop off everything, substring again. So I'm using my guessed and I'm making a substring, chop up everything after it and make a new string, substring end. So what I did there is I cut out the letter, right? So the index that we got correct, so A, I just got A correct. I'm taking the word guess, I'm breaking off the first letter and breaking off the last 2 letters, right? So start is equal to 1 hyphen, end is equal to 2 hyphens. And then guessed, so now I'm remaking guessed, and what's it going to be equal to now? Well, it's going to be equal to start, which was 1 hyphen, word I, which was the letter that I just got correct, word I, and plus end, which were those last 2 hyphens. So now my guessed is going to be equal to like 1 hyphen, the letter A, and 2 hyphens. So it will now have that letter I did. I'll show you why I'm using hyphens next. I also set found to be equal to true, and so it's no longer equal to false because I found a letter. If found equals false, so if I didn't find a letter, wrong letter, but if it equals true, I'm going to show you this part first. So if word equals, oh, nope. If word equals guess, you've won. If found letter equals false, wrong letter. Okay, fine, we'll go do this. Wrong letter. What does wrong letter do? I have a new array of a hangman, and it's face, body, left, right. It's all of their parts. And these words are equal to the face, body, right, left, the parts I drew of the hangman. Oh, I'm super proud of this. So I wanted to figure out what I could use. Oh, that's annoying. Because I didn't want to have to add shapes. I wanted this to be easy. So I used their own icons, the squares, and I don't even know, but stretched them out. Anyways, my hangman. And so this is, again, ID, face, right leg. And so I used those, put them into strings, and made an array hangman. Set property hangman, wrong guess. What is wrong guess? Oh, remember? Wrong guess is the noun of guesses they've guessed wrong. Okay? So where does that get added to? What is triggering that or adding to wrong guess is up here. Is here. So we first set it equal to 0, and so the first time they get something wrong, face will go up, because face is at the 0 index of this. Then we set the property from hidden to false, so it's no longer hidden, so you would then see the face. Now wrong guess equals 1, and so the next time they get something wrong, this will run, and the body will show up, and then wrong guess will equal 2. So wrong guess is just the index we're making appear suddenly. If wrong guess equals hangman.length, so if this number here equals hangman.length, meaning the length of my array, that means you can see the entire hangman. So we're going to set the win-lose label, you lose image to the frown, and to the win-lose screen, okay? Now in the other one, where were we when we ran this? Here. So else, if we weren't false, if we did find that letter, update word. And updating the word does this. We have a temporary variable, just empty. For I is less than word.length, I++. So we're looping through. Temporary is going to be set to equal temporary plus space. And so I'm creating these spaces in between the underscores. So if guessed I does not equal hyphen, because remember, we filled that word guessed just with hyphens to take up space. So if it's not a hyphen, I know that's a letter I've guessed. So if it's a letter I've guessed, temp equals temp plus guessed letter. Else, so if it's not a letter I guessed, then I just want a underscore. Okay? And, oh, I don't need this extra space, I realized. I'll just go to that. So that way we have these nice spaces in between the words, and I mean in between the underscores, and we can have them in between the letters, because I'm checking if, oh my gosh, I'm not doing good. I'm checking if there is a letter there, and if not, if it's a hyphen, to just output it as a underscore. So it gets printed a bit differently than it's stored. Wrong letter we already went through. Reset game screen. So once they are on that last screen, what reset game screen will do, variable letters. Yep, I wrote out all the letters because it loops through and it needs to turn all of these letters blue again. I lose. So they were red, now they're all blue. And then I make a new hangman array. I just copied and pasted it. This time I use a variable C because it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to use C to iterate through till hangman.length. And I'm saying set property hidden true, true, hide them all, hide them all, hide them all, and then reset guesses to, well, 0. So, ta-da! There's a lot you can kind of do to this. You could add your own words. You can make it so they can input their own words and then like pass it to a friend. And I debated. Regardless, I think this is super, super cool. You should get some ideas from this. Do not just copy and paste code. That is plagiarism. That is an issue. My students, I will catch you. Your teachers will find out if you're not my students. Do not just copy and paste code, but please get some ideas. Please explore this. Please build something really cool and really better on top of this. I will share it below in the description. So take a look and yeah, have fun with it. Build something super cool and post the link below. Great. I am gonna play one more time and hopefully get it right. I put too many words in here. Oh, this is not good, guys. Maybe it will say champion of all time. YouTube. coolness. Oh, that wasn't. Well, I'm gonna go put in easier words. You go make something really awesome and post your link to it below. Awesome. Great. Yep.